Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather today. I'm meteorologist Al Peterlin. I'd like to talk about the weather health stresses for May 6, 2026. We keep additional graphics available at tpatw.com. We also maintain a storefront on Amazon. Looking at the surface map for Wednesday, we still see we have a bunch of wintry weather here in the Rockies. We have a massive, very active cold front hanging all the way from Bangor across New England through eastern Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, along to Asheville, right along the spine of the Appalachians, over into eastern Tennessee, cutting across Alabama, Mississippi, northern Louisiana, and all the way back to Austin, Texas. Lots of unsettled weather up and down the coast, and lots of instability here in the southeast. Looking at the vitality index for Wednesday, we have that bubble of activity here in the central Rockies. We have a little bit of activity going on here about Arkansas, probably instability. And then, of course, we have that frontal system up and down the Appalachians, extending all the way back to southern Texas. Looking at the change in pressure, rising pressure is the really story of the day for most of the midsection of the country, starting in Nevada, pushing across Utah, well into Colorado, picking up again in the northeasternmost sections of New Mexico, into Kansas, across portions of Oklahoma, well into Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and all the way to the central sections of Ohio. So rising pressure through the heartland. Looking at the change in temperature, it has been relatively cool in the east, although we have a bubble warm day every now and again. But here again, we have falling temperatures behind that frontal thrust, all the way from Arkansas up into Pennsylvania. But note that we have one really sharp area of falling temperatures here in northeastern New Mexico. We have warming temperatures across Montana and warming temperatures across California into Nevada, and actually making its way into Arizona. Looking at the change in dew point temperatures, or the moisture or vapor availability, you'll see that we have rising dew point temperatures and vapor here along that frontal system or east of it, but falling behind, and falling vapor pressure here in the southwest. Interesting on instability, because this will be the focus for showers and thunder showers, lightning, and possibly migraine. Note that it gets really significant here in Arkansas, northern Louisiana, into northeastern Texas. And finally, looking at the change in oxygen availability, we'll talk about migraine stresses for the western half of Oregon and Washington. Migraine stresses pick up again here in the easternmost sections of Utah, cutting across Colorado, again very strong in that northeastern sections of New Mexico, and making its way into southern Kansas, but then pushing all the way down through the state of Texas, then northeastward across Arkansas, in through western Tennessee, almost all of Kentucky, picking up West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, northern New York, and Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, and on into eastern Canada. Note that we have a risk of asthma and arthritis very strong across California into Nevada and the northernmost portions of Arizona. Asthma stress again in Montana and the Dakotas, and then asthma and arthritis stresses here on the south side of that frontal thrust from the toe of Louisiana across southern Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, down into Florida, and then across the Carolinas. Thanks for visiting the patient and the weather. Your comments are appreciated, and if you hurt, tell us where you're located.